Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast, and today we are going to be reviewing One Piece Chapter 1112, Hard Aspect. So I'm Akainu Fanboy, the other guy's Geboss. So please like and subscribe if you have not, and it's good to be back to review One Piece. So we have a continuation of this Wano storyline that I'm not excited about. We just see Yamato talk with Kinemon. Any thoughts on it?
Yamato's off to start her own harem. Just like Odin. The true Odin.
So, yeah, I don't care about it. That's just my humble opinion. But anyway, so...
Yeah, not much to go on.
No, a terrible cover story arc. But anyways, okay. So we see the Mark III pacifistas have all been incapacitated by Gandhi. I'm blanking on his real name because I think we fully... It's been a month. It was like they revealed to us like 3 chapters ago, and it's been a month, so I'm blanking all their names. So shame on me. Maybe I should break it up as we're talking. But
Nostro, I think.
Nostro. There we go. Yeah. So he's already incapacitated all the pacifistas, which is really impressive. And Bragi and Dory are already commenting already, oh, hey, there's some scary guys here. We better get moving, So they kind of recognize the danger already. And then we see the Navy ships firing now since the pacifistas have been taken out. They don't feel any need to hold back. And then we see Frankie fight the Vice Admiral right here with the multiple chins. And what were your thoughts on this?
I'm just going to say Vice Admiral's agenda is dead in the water. Because we get Frankie just taking him out in one hit. And same thing with Bonnie. Just taking out... literally turning him into a baby and kicking him.
So if they're Bonnie's power is just broken. So on that level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's still dumb because okay. So what is the Vice Admiral agenda ever been a thing? Because okay. For specific Vice Admirals, yes. So I think the 5 Vice Admirals that were at Eddie's lobby. We've seen some feeds from them. So, Odigubo from chaining Marco, for example, catching him during Marineford. Marco was caught off guard, but it's still kind of impressive because it's one of the stronger first commanders, getting pinned down by him. Mm-hmm. And then, Momonga, with his interaction with Boa Hancock, where he immediately stabs his hand, basically, and the pain overrides the Devil Fruit working on him. So, it kind of seems, at least to me, that those 5 Vice Admirals are different than all the rest. I think there's a chance Doberman might be impressive as well. But I do think Vice Admirals, unfortunately, they tend to be used as hype tools. And the reason why I say unfortunately, it's the second highest rank aside from, the Admirals, So I just kind of wish they showed something instead of being used like a hype tool like the Abu Black Ops are in Naruto. Oh, they're very strong. They lead a Buster Call, but we never actually see them do anything,
I don't know. I've heard in the past people bring up the whole thing with Vice Admirals. I think even we've talked about can the Straw Hats fight against the Vice Admirals? Do you think that they're going to get their own fights with them? And I mean, this isn't even a fight. This is a one-sided slaughter.
So do you think Triple Chin's actually down, or do you think he just took a bad hit?
I mean, Frankie broke his Zephyr arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty decisive.
Yeah, it's just so interesting because we'd see Whitebeard one-shot Vice Admirals and Marineford, and it's oh, whoa, that's crazy, and then
yeah.
I mean, granted, was a giant Vice Admiral, but then we see these guys, and it's just kind of pathetic, So
yeah,
I don't think Frankie's Whitebeard tiered just yet, but I just kind of feel like the Vice Admiral power scaling is all over the place, kind of like the Warlord power scaling, because I do think there are powerful Vice Admirals, Virgo would be an example too of that as well,
Yeah.
Or Vice Admiral Suru as well, and things like that. So they just kind of seem to be all over the place in terms of power.
Yeah, but I mean, they're getting one shot by Frankie.
Yeah, I don't think Momonga would have been one shot by Frankie.
I could see like Zoro and Sanji doing that, but it's Frankie. Not discounting Frankie, but
yeah. So, anyways, going to the Labo Strata. We still see Vegapunk, talking with the other paths here, and we get basically, sorry, we get Saint Marcus Mars, right? I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
For this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's trying to find the Den Mushi that's broadcasting everything, and he's with York. And so first he does a lot of damage, and then York talks him down, talking about how if he does more damage, basically he's going to detonate everything with the explosions of the weapon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he would care, I guess.
I mean, like she brings up that Punk Records is going to get blown up. Maybe they're still trying to preserve Punk Records itself because it holds all that information. But I mean, the rest of the island can probably get blown up,
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that he would believe her too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, because it's still a Vegapunk at the end of the day, He seems pretty gullible in that sense. I mean, she may be correct in telling the truth, but it just, for him to just kind of straight up trust her, it's just, seems slightly out of character from what we've seen from them, So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was kind of strange. But it looks like she's going to go on their side, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not that he's gullible, but he does sense something up in Punk Records itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust someone that's a glutton and connected to your enemy at the end of the day, I guess, so
yeah, but I mean,
I don't know.
At the end of the chapter we see Mars like confront whatever's back there or up there, so
yeah, I guess, yeah. It just seems weird to trust her. That's just all I'm saying, regardless of the truth of the content, but yeah.
I just think that they're willing to trust her because she went to them for it, and she has all the information. She is a Vegapunk, so just in that respect, like, they might be willing to save her because she does have an authority with like the pacifistas and the Seraphim and everything. So I see that they could use her as a tool,
and I guess blowing up the base would kill her, and they don't want to kill her just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe preferably they wouldn't want to kill Kaku too, and he's conscious of Kaku being there as well. I guess.
I don't know about Kaku, but it was good to see him.
It still wasn't pawn, like, in terms of, like, because even with Saturn, when he told everybody to get off the island, even, like, the crappy Marines and everything, because there's... So he even... I'm not saying they care about them, but they see them as an asset, and why, like, unnecessarily blow up an asset, is what I'm trying to say, So... Now, but if were they willing to sacrifice Kaku for that, they could just destroy everything. And then obviously they would just kill Kaku, but that wasn't the case right here. So
yeah.
But speaking of Kaku, we get to see him with Stuffsy, and I do like him as a character. I like his dialogue and everything, and I think he is funny where he talks about the betrayal and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kaku more than Lucci, but that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I wish he was the Straw Hat back then, my humble opinion. I liked him a lot when I first saw him in Water 7, but...
Yeah, I think you couldn't handle that many long noses on the crew.
Yeah, it'd be too powerful. But, so basically, he's going back and forth with Stussy, and Stussy says that she wants to stay behind for this mission.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say Stussy won't make it out. Okay, so I remember saying, how many reviews ago, that I didn't think Stussy was going to make it off the island because they made a point to say Stussy was going to go on the ship too, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they say, like, Vegapunk's going to get on the ship, all the Vegapunk paths are going to get on the ship, and Stussy's going to get on the ship. And my argument, because I know a lot of people used to be saying that, oh yeah, this is going to be a total victory for the Straw Hats, which it hasn't been. So because Vegapunk's dead, And so basically all the people aside from the Straw Hats they're saying that are going to get on the ship are not going to end up getting on the ship. And so far, more of that evidence is going that direction. And now the fact that Stussy stayed here is another point in that direction too.
Yeah. I mean, I think just the fact that she's also a clone, you know, she can kind of be seen as expendable. Although wasn't there a thing about like clones? I need to reread Egghead, but I thought there was a thing with Stussy about clones having their own personalities or whatever.
Yeah, they do, but you could say like Shaka and all of them have their own personalities as well. But like,
well, I think I think the paths are different than like clones, you know.
They are, but I'm just saying, like, I guess in Oda's mind, like, it's easier for him to kill off characters that are clones or paths, kind of thing. Yeah. You know. I think that's how he sees it, and that's why he's able to get over this crutch of him killing off characters here. You know. And so I think there's a good shot Stussy gets killed. There's no reason for the government to really keep her alive unless they want to experiment on her later or something. You know, maybe that's like the only way I can see out of it. You know, and so
I mean,
they do.
It is good that we got to see her because I think we were questioning like where she was this whole time.
Right. And Oda did deliver that there. Yeah. So. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then we see the rest of the Straw Hats here. And one thing I did want to like make note of is that Edison is with Robin, Robin, Nami, and Chopper, right?
And Usopp.
And then
and Brooke.
Yeah, right. So all of them are together right there.
And Lilith is there too.
And Lilith's there too. And then the third, which leaves the last satellite, that's going to be oh my gosh, Atlas. Atlas is going to be with Bonnie and Kuma. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously York's with the Gorsei, and then the other Shaka, and
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras are dead. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's been a month, so I need to recollect all this information and just organize it all out here.
You haven't been watching the anime to keep up?
It hasn't keeping up with this part. So, so basically they're talking about moving to the ship and everything. And so Usopp talks about he's reloading the, coup de burst. And they do bring a note here that Edison's still injured from, let's see, oh my gosh, this is so much to think about. But the Boa Seraphim.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. So he'd be injured from that. Okay. And then, we see Lilith here too and everything. And so basically, so Edison takes a dip down and everything, and so he goes through the force field, and he hasn't died from the boom at all or anything like that. So now Edison is separated from the rest now.
Yeah, so what do you think that he's gonna do? Because I don't know what he's planning to do by escaping the Labostratum, because it doesn't seem like there's anything salvageable down there.
Oh, I think the whole point is like I didn't die, you guys are good to go through.
No, I don't think that he's like because when you go through the barrier, it doesn't like create a hole in the barrier. It just damages you. And it
no. Like if he's like, if I can tank it, then you guys can take it. I think that's kind of what. Right?
I don't think so. I think
because his projected damage is 78%.
I think because he says I ain't dying, not yet. I think that's referring to himself.
Okay.
Like. It'll do 78% damage to me. I can make it through, and then I'm going to do whatever I can down on the surface. But I don't know what he's planning on doing.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so... Okay, you're correct. I misread that. So, this is going to go to my little overarching theme right here. It looks like Edison's health is declining a bit, and he's on the verge of death. I mean, he was already damaged already, and now we see him take additional more damage by going through Labostratum. So I want to make a note there. And so basically, when we go over to this next section right here, we see Luffy fighting the other members of the Gorosei right here.
Yeah.
And you have Brogy and Dory. Well, actually, it's only one of them now because I think all of them more or less have moved basically at this point, right?
He's going up against Jupiter here with the sandworm, and then later on it looks like Workery and Jupiter are after Luffy.
Yeah, it's so strange, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because he was fighting like what? All five of them were in front of him at once, and then I think he was fighting about three at the same time.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, we'll skip ahead a little bit, but
yeah.
we see Saturn later on climbing up. So I don't know how he got that high, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, I guess it's just kind of weird why Saturn would separate from them to begin with. But anyways, I don't know if that's like plot arbor for Luffy because he doesn't want to show like Luffy can't take all of them at once or whatever. But I don't know. But so we see Luffy power down again. Oh, sorry, go.
I was just gonna say Luffy's not taking any of them down because he's he's back to base.
He's back to base. So I have it out of time, but I can't. I'd say the last time it's been a good number of chapters at least. It's kind of hard to calculate because we have the flashback in between it too of Bonnie. But there was a point when he was dead, and then he mysteriously got food. We don't know how he got the food, and then he recharged, and then it's been a good number of chapters, and now he's powered back down again. So at least in terms of the story, it doesn't look like this ability lasts that long. Gear 5.
No. And we've kind of known that.
Yeah, it's just another indicator. Like even when he fought Lucci, it didn't go on for terribly long.
Yeah, it's more of like not even like a glass cannon, because that would mean lower defense, and he has higher defense, I think, in Gear 5. But I don't know. It seems just it's just on a short. It's basically like an ultimate ability. Like you have to charge it up. You can't stay in it forever.
And when he eats food, he just gets back to like Gear 2nd, Gear 3rd Luffy, basically. I guess Gear 4 too.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But he's not going right back into Gear 5. So even with food, he can't even get back to that point. So an old man mode, he's basically good as dead. So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. So the giants feed him Hikaru. And I'm wondering if this is going to just point to any significance in the future. Maybe it's something specifically like we're going to see in a flashback of Joy Boy enjoying or something with the giants. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just something I thought.
That's a good point. But we're not going to Elbaf.
Yeah, we better be going to Elbaf.
Fake news. So it was funny to see Luffy do that hit. So obviously this guy's skin is very powerful, and I'm wondering if this is kind of like his specific quirk, if you will, like because like Saturn, it was like he can take as much damage as he wants, kind of thing. And I'm wondering with this Elder Star if like his whole thing is you just can't hurt him. Period. Saturn you can't hurt, but he has regen basically. So
yeah. Well, I guess you're right, because it is different, because we've seen like Kuma completely like punch Saturn and send him flying, whereas this is more of a defensive thing. But yeah, it's wild to see Luffy completely like just get the recoil from hitting Workery with Red Rock, which took down. Like, it knocked Kaido flat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It is wild. Crazy. So, and I think we go back and forth with this discussion. Are these just like quirk Gorosei? Like, do they have like they're a little special thing? Or are they actually just powerhouses of themselves? And I go back and forth, honestly. I haven't really taken a position, on that, like a hard position, I think Saint Nushiro is like the only one that really gives off vibes like he's really powerful, I guess, all around. But that just might be vibes. But so we see Saturn climb up here.
Yeah, because, I mean, we think it looks like he got up through the Labostratum, but I don't know. You can kind of see like some smoke like behind his like pincers or whatever, his legs. So maybe he's like was damaged from that, but yeah, there's like I'll get into what I think might happen. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then we see Gandhi come back, and he takes down all the giants easily, from the looks at it. And that's a great little image right there. Love it.
Yeah.
And so I do just kind of want to make this quasi important point that I've kind of been trying to point out throughout the review of this chapter. So Lucci's main objective for this whole arc with his Cypherpole Zero unit was to kill Vegapunk and to kill all of the satellites of Vegapunk. And then the original meme format for Kizaru, like our greatest objective, is to maintain the agenda. That's the meme, but our greatest objective is to eliminate Vegapunk, right? He didn't specify the satellites, but so we have 2 of the 6 dead. The 3rd is corrupted. Edison's injured already. We have Atlas right in proximity to Gandhi right here. And then we have Lilith right next to Saturn. And Lilith's being protected by the weakling trio, right? And then Bonnie just has Frankie. So I can see Atlas, like, because she's just an idiot like this, where like she tried to charge a Lucci and she got annihilated in one hit, which is a real Kogan, not even in his awakened form. So I think Gandhi will just obliterate her, So my humble opinion, especially this chapter made a note that Edison's health is decreasing. I think all the satellites are very, very, very likely to all die by the end of this arc. Which then, because again, everyone, total straw hat victory, but the main objective of this whole arc was to get Vegapunk and the satellites out. But I think they're all going to die. So, it's a victory for Luffy. He's like tangling with admirals. He's embarrassing Rob Lucci, doing all this shit. But ultimately, he's going to get a bit of an Aldo because their main objectives failed, So, those are my thoughts there. On you.
So, I think we might have brought it up at the end of the last chapter, but with Noshiro going around the island, I think we kind of said that he was going to end up right here with the giants at their ship. But who's coming to that place? And then who's coming to Saturn's location is Zoro and Sanji. So we could see them clash with them. I don't think they're at like Luffy level where they can actually put up. They'll put up a fight, but out of like who's left, because I was talking up Frankie like taking down a vice admiral. He can fire off some radical beams like he always does, but he's not tangling with Guro, say, like off the bat. But I could see like Sanji and Zoro putting up a fight.
Yeah, I could see like Atlas. Okay, it's basically Atlas takes a swipe first, goes in without thinking because that's her character, dies immediately. Frankie gets upset that someone dies. He tries to help, but then he ultimately fails, and he just got a W, but then he immediately takes an L. And then Sanji and Zoro come in to help out to save Bonnie's life because it's in Sanji's character to like save a woman too. And he's saved Bonnie's life multiple times already,
Yeah. Well, Zoro's going to where Usopp and Nami are because he's already up there.
Yeah. And, and then Sanji goes to Bonnie and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if Atlas is going to get like one tap like right off the bat, but I don't know. But I do agree that ultimately I think the paths are going to be killed.
Yeah, because they're the ones that gave CP0 the order to obliterate them to begin with, And if they already have York, they don't have need for the others who aren't being obedient, So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll kill you first, and then I'll go for Bonnie. And he'll have more of a reason to kill Atlas first because Atlas is going to be attacking him first. That's just what's going to happen there. And I am going to note, like, again, Kizaru is not here. I think part of the reason it's a degree of plot armor, kind of what I talked about previously. I think if Kizaru is here, and also if he was 100% mentally and emotionally into this, which he isn't, I think it would be too much for the protagonist here, So that's part of the reason why he's not here right now, too, because I think Five Gorosei and an Admiral is just it's over at that point, you
Mhm.
know.
But
So
yeah,
yeah,
I will say that um, just in terms of like the time frame, we've been going through this. What was it? 10 minutes, really quickly, because we're already at 1 minute at the end
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. That's oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, given like the anime fight, like the Dragon Ball thing where Namek's exploding over 30 episodes and it's only a 5 minute time limit.
So
This has been
if
going
there's only
quickly.
if there's only 1 minute, I can see this kind of happening where all the satellites get killed before the conclusion in a way. So all of them are present and the little recording with Vegapunk as he's giving the message.
Yeah, I could see that too. But
I think it's more fitting that way, you know?
yeah. But I mean, we see Mars at the end here, with approaching what seems to be the video snail. But I'm interested to see what this gurgling sound is, you know, because he's just kind of looking at it. I'm wondering, because he's up in Punk Records right now, and that's where like Vegapunk is said to have stored his brain.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if it's literally just his big brain in a jar, because even Bonnie was, when he first showed up, Bonnie was like, "What happened to the rest of your head?" Because it's like the worn out apple core at the top.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it might just be his whole brain there.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the best guess I have for that.
Right, right.
What about you?
So, no, you know what? I accept that theory. I think it's a good theory.
Yeah.
So, what do you think are the chances though all the Vegapunks go down by the end of before the end of the next minute? What do you think about that?
What, the next chapter or? Oh,
The next minute, the last minute. Yeah. Which could be, we don't know how many chapters that could be.
I mean, I think it's only going to be one more chapter before the message starts playing. So if that's the case, I would guess. Oh, like percentage that they're actually gonna die is like 90%. I think the only one I could potentially see is Lilith, because she's fan bait.
She's fan bait, but she's also impulsive like Atlas too. Like she wants to fight, because remember oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the number one. Shaka. Yeah. Shaka told her to chill because of Zoro and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say on this chapter.
Cool. Yeah. No, good to be back. I love the chapter. A lot happened. Very excited. It all flowed really well. Good character work all around, and it's great to be back. So please like it. Sorry, go.
I was gonna say I'm glad that Oda got the break.
He deserves it. He is Goda. So anyways, so please like and subscribe, everyone, if you have not. And it's good to be back, and we'll have more content out too. Jujutsu Kaisen review will be on the horizon for you all. So anyways, see ya. Have a good weekend, and peace.
See ya.